uh, April 29, 2024 bike ride. Oops. One day I will get so used to getting on this bike, it will be so easy. Right now it's not quite there.
Welcome to the Boston Aerobic Base Building Series, or BABS, as I like to call it. I'm Casey Zog, your iFit trainer, and we have an amazing series planned for you here in and around Boston, Massachusetts. We'll be exploring the world's greatest institutions of higher learning, navigating through gorgeous fall foliage in the countryside, and diving into the rich cultural heritage that Boston has to offer. In this beginner series, we'll be building your aerobic base through both progressive effort and endurance rides. We'll be kicking things off here at the Charles River Esplanade and finishing at the renowned Bunker Hill Monument. Let's start building that base together here along the beautiful Charles River. Get your cadence up to about 60 to 70 right now as we kick off this fantastic Boston series. We'll be, throughout this series, pushing your aerobic base through both progressive effort and endurance rides. Today, we'll be doing a progressive effort ride where we'll take your rated perceived exertion, or RPE, from about 6 to 8.
Incline flat, resistance 9.
Right now, you should be at an RPE of 2 to 3. We want you to warm up those legs, get the blood flowing, ensure those muscles are ready to start putting in some effort. We've got 4 more minutes of warm-up where we'll progressively get a little bit more effort as we prepare for the full-on
-1, resistance 9.
Today. There will be 5 3-minute intervals
Flat.
where I'll ratchet up the resistance on the bike each time, and I'll want you to keep the same cadence between about 70 and 80, so your effort goes up, cadence is consistent, but the bike resistance is what's making the change to drive that improvement in your aerobic base. You can see we're navigating here along the Charles River Esplanade on a gorgeous fall evening here in Boston. The colors are changing. It's definitely gotten a little bit nippy out. This Indian summer of ours has definitely left us. As we're now to the point where a little bit of that chill in the winter air seems to be coming our way. We're going to fight that as much as we can by
Incline
continuing to warm up, get
Flat.
our muscles loose, build a bit of a sweat here as we prepare in about 2.5 minutes for our progressive effort.
Yes, but this is
For today, it'll be a total of 15 minutes.
wait. I have to. Something is, I don't know. I keep moving this seat and everything. I can't find. I can't find the position I like of the bike. Okay, let's try again.
This is the first video of the series. I know you're going to do great. It's going to hurt a little bit, but at the end, you'll feel so much better. I'm glad you did it.
Okay, maybe.
I have loved exploring
Maybe.
Boston so far. And I've got to say, the weather here, the people, the culture, everything about it has been amazing. We'll get to dive in together into some amazing rides in this series. And after you've been able to go through and do Boston, you have that solid aerobic base, you should check out other series with me. If you'd like to go push some VO2 max and functional threshold power intervals in Vietnam, go explore some amazing passes and dive into the rich culture found there, or you can build some solid race pace endurance with me in Norway. There's some amazing locations to explore with me and other trainers throughout the world. But for now, we're going to take advantage of this beautiful Boston environment and dive in
It is
both
beautiful.
culturally and athletically
It's beautiful.
into everything that Boston has to offer for us. We've got about 30 seconds left in the warm-up, so make sure you're ramping up that RPE, or rated perceived exertion, to about a 4, maybe a 5 here. Really start feeling it, so we also don't want to hit these knees. Swans, various feathered friends.
It was a geese. It was a Canada goose.
Just as a quick story, the other day I was playing chicken with a squirrel. It darted out right in front of me and was playing with its own existence. But on that note, let's ramp it up to an RPE of 6 now.
Okay.
Put down some effort. Keep your cadence around 70 to 80 and let's get going. Kicking off this progressive effort here on the first ride for our Boston aerobic base
Incline,
building series.
flat, resistance
Feeling
12.
good in the Boston neighborhood. Looks like we got a lot of folks out building their aerobic base today. We'll take that.
Incline 3, resistance
I gotta
11.
say, there has been a high prevalence of people out and about on the bikes, running, and even Boston,
Flat,
from what I can tell, is a
12.
very health conscious and athletically oriented community, which is great. Something that I very much support. And of course, you are in the same boat, since you're out here riding it with me. Speaking of boats, I always knew about the crew recruiting that all these Ivy League schools out here would do, and something that I think I'd heard before, but had forgotten, is the person sitting at the front of the boat, and I know there's a term, is it aft, or the whatever, telling the rowers to do their thing, is the coxswain. And I read that, and it made me chuckle, because I'm a cyclist, and cyclists are ridiculous, because we wear our silly little Lycra kits, and we have our own little culture, but we don't have coxswains in cycling. Whoa! Beep, 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 beep. Keep that cadence up, just because we're running into wildlife here along the Charles River Esplanade does not give you an excuse to slow down that effort. RPE of 6 here. Keep it up.
resistance 12, incline flat.
I can tell that you're getting distracted because I'm the same with how beautiful it is various trees, changing foliage, sun filtering through. It's quite an amazing and beautiful experience to be out here riding, putting down some progressive effort. And speaking of that, we got to turn it up here in 10 seconds while we cross over to hit Calm Ave.
Incline 5.
Okay, checking
Resistance
it up.
9.
Maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of grade in addition to the resistance because we're climbing up this path. Woo! Do you feel that burn? Get your RPE up
Flat.
to 6.5.
13.
Turning towards 7. We'll flatten it out in terms of the incline.
Minus
Take a
2.
look at all these
14.
brownstone buildings. They all call them triple deckers. These all look like
Flat.
quadruple,
13.
pentuple or quadrilateral. I obviously don't have what it takes to land into Harvard or MIT, but we will in another ride get to go check out Comet Yacht. So don't miss out on the amazing other rides on this series. Since it's not just the beautiful Esplanade in Boston City that we explore, we also get Cambridge and outskirts. We've got a fun little hill climb at Wachusett Mountain. And coming from Utah, they call it a mountain, maybe it's a hill, but unless it gets above 7,000, 8,000 feet of elevation, I don't know. Feels like a little bit of a misnomer to me. Now, that's not me crapping on lower elevation places. I'm just a Utah boy that lives in the mountains.
Flat. 13.
But I surely am loving this Boston experience. Boston strong. Speaking of strong, how are you feeling? Holding that cadence at around 70 to 80, keeping your rated perceived exertion 6.5 or so. Following Calm Ave or Commonwealth Avenue, these dedicated bike lanes, which are so convenient. Rolling through Boston University campus. Ooh, lots of fun architecture. I love these old timey churches. Things that I don't see in Utah. Everything back home is semi-modern, cookie cutter. You don't get the diversity that you find out here in the old world. Old world. 1607, 1614, you got John Smith Landing naming the Charles River after King Charles. You got the Pilgrims coming out, establishing Plymouth. I guess it's old world for us, but it was new world back then. The establishment,
Incline 5. Resistance 9.
new civilization, albeit rife with, I think, some missteps along the way. I think there's some appropriate sensitivities to consider on that. And you know what? Here I am.
Incline 4. Resistance 9.
Puffing away. We've got some more incline to increase, or rather resistance, so here we go. We're going to ramp it up appropriately so as we cross Boston University Bridge. So you should be at a solid RPE of 7 now.
Incline 4. Resistance 10. Incline 5.
Turning up the grade a little bit, turning up the resistance. It's progressive. It's making you work harder. Keep that cadence consistent.
Minus 1.
Burn.
13.
But this is just such a beautiful landscape to see from the top of this bridge. So amazing.
Incline 6.
Progressive effort with about
Resistance 8.
a minute remaining. So that means that we are over halfway
Minus
done
1.
now.
13.
You're doing fantastic. I think you'll find as you do more and more of these workouts, you'll feel more confident about your abilities. You'll get more comfortable with the burn
Ah,
that you're experiencing
flat. Resistance 13.
while on
My
the bike.
bum hurts from the seat.
And of course,
I'll guess you get used to it,
throughout
right?
every single ride, you're going to be rewarded with these amazing views. The sun to our back,
Flat.
looking
15.
out over Boston and the Charles River. Amazing. Well, let's turn it up one
14.
more. We're gonna
Resistance
increase that
14.
Resistance just a bit. You should now be at a 7.5 RPE.
No. Except my ass hurts, otherwise I'm fine. And my hands.
Hello. Got a few kiddos out there building their aerobic base as well. Always good to get them started young. My son, who's 10, I got him out riding bikes pretty early, and much to my chagrin and dismay, he's not too into cycling, which is totally okay. I always tell him, you do you, you find that thing that enriches your life. He's got an amazing artistic talent and a good eye for creativity. And even though he's probably not going to jump into the world of competitive mountain bike racing, I'm still super proud of him. So we all kind of find our own things in life that we enjoy and celebrate. Celebrating the fun that we're having out here, for sure. Boston, on this aerobic base building series. How you feeling? You need a sip of water? I think I'm gonna take a quick drink. You got 1 minute left before I ratchet it up for our last progression on this first workout. I mean, just these views. The foliage changing on the trees. Sun hitting the skyline. Boston is such a beautiful city. So much architecture and history found here. Hopefully you have enough calories in you to finish up this effort strong. The last thing we want is you to bonk. Don't let this amazing skyline with the sun-kissed buildings and trees distract you. We still got 30 seconds left before I turn up the last progressive effort. We'll hit an RPE of 8. So it'll hurt a bit, but it'll hurt so good. Passing the MIT campus, I think I'm absorbing some of that intellectual prowess. Maybe not. It's been way too many years since I've done a math class.
Ah,
But I can at least generally calculate the number of seconds remaining in our progressive efforts. And that's what's important today. Give me 10 more seconds on this, then we turn it up a bit more.
ah.
3, 2, 1.
Resistance 15. Incline flat.
How are you feeling? Your rate of perceived exertion should be pretty pretty high now. I want you to be able to hold this. This is not going to feel comfortable, but as I said, it'll get easier as we do more of these. Finish out the full Boston series, and you'll not only get to explore so many things that this beautiful town has to offer, but you'll leave with a much stronger aerobic base, feel good about yourself, and then you'll be ready for Norway, for Vietnam, or if you want to go check out some Red Rock beauty, do the Moab series, where we get to explore some amazing landscapes, and you can go ride the world famous Slick Rock Trail with me and several other iFit trainers. This has been a phenomenal ride. Being able to navigate around the Charles River with you today has been such a wonderful experience. With the other rides we have in this series, you and I will get to explore a lot of interesting things as we build our aerobic base together. In Boston, culturally, intellectually, economically, it's quite an amazing place to explore and be, especially on a bike. We've got just over 1 minute remaining on this.
-2. Still 15 resistance.
On the series, so let's finish strong.
Incline 5. Resistance 11.
That dog, let's say, was encouraging us.
Flat 15.
Okay, 30 seconds here. We've got a nice straightaway. Let's just wrap it up here. Push it. Kicking up our cadence just a bit. We are just getting progressively stronger here. Really amazing work that you're doing. So proud of you. 10 seconds. How are you feeling? Come on. Why don't you leave me out for this end? Just push it strong to the end. Nice work. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful.
Resistance 11.
Knock that one
Flat.
out. Ooh.
Ah.
Fantastic work. Let's cool down now. Great job. That was amazing. With the sun setting on this beautiful evening here in Boston, we can say that we have been able to sunset our effort a bit here. Drop your RPE to about a 4 at this point. You can slow down your cadence too. Maybe between 50 and
Flat.
60 at this point.
Resistance 11.
As we'll slowly navigate our way to the Bunker Hill Monument in honor
This is just so much.
of the Revolutionary War. And much like that popular saying potentially originated at the battle, we won't finish our workout until we see the whites of the enemy's eyes. And for us, sometimes those intervals can feel
Incline
like
4.
you're ready to
Resistance
pop out.
7.
Not us today. We totally owned that workout, and we're feeling stronger because of it.
-1. 11.
If you need to, grab a sip of water.
Incline 2, resistance 9.
And it's health and nutrition. For me personally, it really got me into bike racing in the first
Incline
place.
5.
Part of the reason I created Trail Truffles as a product that was made of
Resistance
whole
6.
foods, clean, simple ingredients. Something that I think it's important for us to have important, helpful things that go in our body, which impacts how well our body can perform. And so whatever type of nutritional regimen you take, make sure you adhere to it in a way
Minus
that
2.
allows you
11.
to perform optimally. Because the principle of garbage in, garbage out is so applicable here. Here I am talking about nutrition as we're getting to explore these amazing bridges here in Boston. But for us, nutrition is just as important because we need to sustain ourselves throughout this series.
Flat 10. Resistance.
It's amazing navigating underneath the Zakin Bridge. I think I may have spotted the obelisk of Bunker Hill Monument, so we'll be winding down this cool down here in a moment. So we're getting past St. Mary Church as well. Okay, soft pedal here. Drop your RPE to 2 or 3.
Incline 8.
Look at how amazing
Resistance 2.
this street is with all the cars. It's kind of tree lined, but it's more car lined than anything. Premium parking locations here, I suppose.
I think I have to
Like
raise.
anywhere. And boom, here we are.
How you call this thing? Steering wheel?
Bunker Hill
The wheel
Monument
higher.
rising on the horizon.
My hands are killing me.
Kind of awe-inspiring.
My carpal tunnel
Holy cow.
on both hands
The only thing that's more
is so painful.
breathtaking
Between this
has been your
and my
voice
bum
death.
with this seat. Otherwise, I'm perfectly fine. I can ride for another 3 hours like that. But this is so tender. Flat, resistance 9, 8.
I'm Casey Zog, your iFit trainer. That was an amazing first step here on our Boston Aerobic Base Building Series. I hope you'll join me for another ride. Until I see you next time. Hey there, aspiring Ivy Leaguer. I am Casey Zog, your iFit trainer. We are standing on the Longfellow Bridge overlooking beautiful Boston as part of this aerobic base building series. Today's endurance ride will finish at Harvard Yard.
Ah. Okay. Alrighty then. I have to raise it. It's just too painful. Oh, my hands. And this seat is just, it's the softest seat. I do not, doesn't feel that way though. I even put the extra cushion. Anyway, gonna raise the seat now. And that's it.